Alright, so now we're gonna do the calibration for your Excalibur LockGenic. So you have this block here that you need to put in the machine. So you just slide it in and it will stop when it gets to the end. Then you have to turn this knob and tighten it so it doesn't move. Okay. Now you will get this from your kit. So it's called the block, calibration block. You will have also this one here, which is your stopper. Make sure you put the stopper at the end and block it there. You need to put take these ones out. These are 2 probes. Usually they're not in the machine when it comes, so I want to use a milling cutter 2mm. And I have to probe 1mm probe. So another milling cutter. It has a number on it. It says 2mm, and this is the one. So I will use one of the probes. So I'm using the probe 1mm. So make sure you insert the probe. Make sure which side you're entering, because there's 2 sides. One is 3mm and the other side is 1mm. So I insert this and I keep the 1mm below. I will tighten this a little bit. You don't need to tighten all the way, just you don't want it to drop when you're doing your calibration. And then do the same thing with the milling cutter. So probe here and milling cutter here. So now we're gonna start. So you have to go to the setting, system setup, and the first line here, and then it will tell you what you have to do. So since we put the 2mm milling cutter and the probe 1mm, so we're gonna change this one to 1mm, the probe. Okay, and 2mm is already there, so we don't need to change. Next, it says insert those. We already did in the previous step. And now you go next page. Here it shows you have to put the block. We have already done that one. You have to follow this. So put the block, make sure you put the stopper shown in the picture. It's going to be at the last railing. There are several stop points. Well, we're using the last one for the calibration purpose. And then the second step shows us lock, make sure everything is locked, and then make sure turn on the knob to tighten everything. So you have to follow this one by one. So we're going to go next step. Here says leveling the probe. So click on leveling probe. So number 1, step 3. You're gonna enter. Machine is gonna do its own adjustment and it's gonna go on stop once it hits any of the probe or milling cutter hits the stage. Then you just loosen here and bring the milling cutter down so it touches the stage. Do the same thing with your probe. Make sure it touches, and you tighten both of them. So it says use the torque wrench and tighten the milling cutter for the second step and adjust. Then now you're going to enter next. So the machine will go back to its spot. And step 4, first step in step 4 is that remove the milling cutter and insert probe instead. So we're going to remove this one. Then we're going to put the milling cutter however way you like to put, doesn't matter, you just need to insert it and tighten just a little bit. And then next step is click the leveling probe. So now it's gonna do the leveling again, but this time for probe. Okay, so loosen again, bring it down, make sure it touches, and then tighten. Once that's done, it says use the torque wrench, which is just saying that we have to tighten and level the milling probe to the cutter position. So it has to be touching the stage. Now you're gonna go next. So we're going to the next step now. It says click probe calibration. So we're calibrating the probe here. So once you click, and then you have to press OK to confirm. So it's gonna go and it's gonna calibrate. So it does all around calibration to get a precise measurement. So now you see the screen says calibration success. You press OK. Now step 2 is the calibrating the milling cutter. So is the blade. So you're gonna press and OK again, and it will do the same step for your milling cutter, which is now a probe in there. So now you see success for that as well. Press OK. Next step is remove the milling cutter position, the probe that is we put a probe there, so we're gonna remove that one and we're gonna insert the milling cutter again. So you just go here, loosen, take it out and put your milling cutter. Make sure you put it all the way because it comes on the stage and you don't want it to damage. So and tighten a little bit. You don't need to tighten too much, just to hold it. Now it says next, you're gonna press next. It's a level, so now you have to level the milling cutter again. So leveling, again loosen, bring it down so it touches, make sure it touches properly, and then tighten again. So now we're fully ready to go for the next step. So next step is to tighten, which we already did. Now it says probe height calibration. So we're going to do probe height calibration. So this is going to check the height of the probe as compared to the stage. Next, we're going to do the same thing for milling cutter. And we'll just go down and check the stage and make sure it touches properly. And once we see the success, you're going to press OK. And everything is done, you're going to press complete. So now your calibration is complete.